I have a new video for you guys because Chris Ingham is at it again. This 36-year-old father of 4 has used his YouTube platform to reel in young women and in some cases minors. He is now being accused of doing the same thing year after year, and of course that includes cheating on his wife. So let's get into it. If you guys don't know who creepy Chris Ingham is, no worries, I will give you a quick background. He is the father of 4 with a YouTube channel of 1.3 million subscribers. He runs it all with his wife named Sarah, who must not care that her husband is a serial cheater. He has cheated on her so many times, and today we are talking about recent allegations that he has done it again. We will be talking about those allegations and his wife Sarah's reply to them, because she has spoken out against them, and it seems like she's going to continue to support her nasty husband even though he has committed these crimes multiple times. And by crimes, I mean, yes, crimes, because at one point a few years back he was literally trying to hang out with a 16-year-old and go skinny dipping with her. We've talked about this on my channel before, but I will give you guys a walk down memory lane throughout this video. Before we get into the recent allegations, I want to remind you guys that this family is wrong for putting their children out here on YouTube. You guys know that I am fully against family channels here on this platform. Frankly, because the children who are in these videos cannot consent. I mean, I actually remember making a video about the Ingham family because they had a video go up where one of their children's skirts or something went up and you can completely see their private area, and literally the father, Chris Ingham, included this in that video. Thank God YouTube removed the content from online, but they shouldn't be forcing their children on camera on this platform when they can't consent to the repercussions of it all, especially when their father is a creeper and their reputation is going to be tainted by his behavior. I mean, these people went as far as to create a fake mock-up of their baby, a life-like version doll of their child to sell to their subscribers to have. Literally an infant who doesn't even understand the world yet has been manufactured into a product to sell to their subscribers. So this is by far one of the worst family channels out here, and Chris Ingham, for whatever reason, seems to keep getting away with doing disgusting things. Whether this is asking 16-year-olds to go skinny dipping or, messaging, there's so many different women. I mean, we've got 5 different women we're going to be speaking about today, and some of those include recent allegations. So let's go ahead and just talk about those, because someone recently came out and claims that they've had a full-blown affair with Mr. Chris Ingham. So what you're looking at right now are allegedly messages between Chris and this woman. She is a 20-year-old university student, and they were talking on Instagram before taking it over to Snapchat. I personally do not like Snapchat. I just feel like it's a sketchy app. Why do your messages have to delete? As soon as I send something and reopen it, I'm like, hold up, I forgot what I just sent, and it's perfect for weirdos who want to hide evidence. Anyways, they went over to Snapchat, and that's when they started to talk in more detail. The main takeaway from these Snapchat messages is pretty much that Chris really did speak to this woman. They seemed like they were tight friends. At one point, he was talking to her about a business opportunity, which seemed pretty random. And then there's one message where Chris got really excited about something that this woman sent to him. He sent a bunch of emojis with some words I need to block out. And it's just really all uncomfy thinking that this man has a wife at home with children. So from these messages, it's clear that these people have some type of a relationship, an inappropriate one. And I've been using the term allegedly as we talk about this case because I'm not too certain who this person is. Like I said, we know that they're in their early 20s. They are a university student, so thankfully it's not a minor. But from what I've heard online, this person is supposedly vulnerable, and Chris should have never been messaging them in the first place. We learn a lot more about their relationship from this email, and it's very random because it's not from the university student, it's not from Chris Ingham, but it's from a random fan who supposedly talked to the 20-year-old university student who has been having a relationship with Chris, and they decided they wanted to put together an email and send it to Sarah, Chris's wife, and pretty much tell on Chris that he's been, getting dirty with some random YouTube fan. Let's go ahead and break down this email. So pretty much they claim they don't want to message her this, but they need to because they know that she's been going through a lot lately and they feel like she needs to be aware of what's going on behind her back. In that first paragraph, she tells Sarah, hey, your man is sleeping with this other woman, and here is a timeline of their relationship. She writes that this woman claims that Chris has created several different accounts to contact this girl, that they have supposedly met up in their personal office. They have hooked up in Chris's car amongst the children's coats. The children's coats, ew, it's so gross to think about. So they're even detailed where like supposedly this girl and Chris hooked up in the car and there were children's coats like just laying around them while they were doing the dirty. Like, ew, it's so foul. I hate cheating people too. You guys know I hate people who cheat. Like, that is a strong H word for me. I hate them. She writes that they send messages on Snapchat. They send messages on LinkedIn. She has sent inappropriate images to both Chris and Lee. And I'm not going to talk about who Lee is in this video because I really don't know. It's one of Chris's friends who's supposedly been messaging this girl as well. She also believes that she had a chemical pregnancy with Chris, which is pretty much when someone is pregnant and they lose the baby quite early. It's called a chemical pregnancy, which again is a huge claim. If she was pregnant at one point, they had a full-blown affair. She continues, she believes that she'll be meeting up with Chris when you return. She has provided messages between the two of them, and she has also provided dates when they have met up before, which she provided. Then this fan asks Sarah, do these dates add up? Which I'm like, hold up, you just told her that her husband is cheating on her, gave her all this information, and you're like, yeah, so does this add up? I would be like, excuse me. It's not like she's gonna be like, yeah, actually it checks out. The dates all, add up. It seems like he's been having an affair. So this all just seems very I don't know, a lot for Sarah to take in, and I can't believe what she must be feeling, but also she may be used to it at this point. He has cheated on her so many times, so she may have seen it coming. The fan continues, I will not make this public unless you do not respond. This girl is very vulnerable and she needs to be exposed, not Chris. Which again, I guess this email was made public. It was sent out in October 2020, so it's been a minute since this went down. It's believed that this university student had an affair with Chris around September 2020, around that time. It seems like this fan is really trying to watch out for Sarah's back because they write that they're worried that YouTubers like Dougal or Country Joe will get a hold of this information about Chris having, hooking up with this university student, and they'll create a bunch of content about it and it will be horrible. If you guys don't know who Dougal or Country Joe is, I actually don't either, but Dougal I know is an account that covers Chris Ingham. I looked them up this morning and I will give you guys a little bit of information about them in a second. But pretty much this fan is worried about this information getting out to the public and wants Sarah to know ahead of time so they could do some damage control. At the very end of the email, supposedly this person knows who this girl is and knows her account. I'm assuming they do because they got all this information from her. But again, I'm not too sure who is claiming to have had this relationship with Chris Ingham. And there's probably a good reason why we don't know her name, because several of the survivors who have come out against Chris Ingham in the past have deleted their videos or their content. They've tried to erase their name from the situation because of the amount of hate they have gotten from the Ingham fans. The subscribers of this YouTube channel is very dedicated to the iFam family. That's what they call their subscribers, and they really believe that Chris Ingham is an awesome guy who can do no wrong. So Sarah has acknowledged this situation, and she replied to a comment on Facebook about her feelings on everything. She writes, they do this every single time something amazing happens in our life. Start sharing rubbish from 4 years ago. Had one idiot telling me that he had proof that Chris cheated on me in October. When I asked him how that could be possible, seeing as though we were together 24/7 and in our caravan traveling, he changed it to, well, he did go home for his car, so it must have been then. Okay, mate, but that was August, and the timing doesn't make it possible. Then he reports to, well, at least I'm not married to a ... I'm not even going to say it because it's vile, but this is exactly what they do. Whenever we travel, celebrate something, buy something, Basically, anytime everything is good, another drama unfolds. Set of absolute lonely saddos with nothing better to do. As mentioned above, we have someone employed who isn't close to us monitor all our social medias, email messages, etc. So we see very little and would rather keep it that way. So she's claiming that they're not even on their social media accounts and they're not even really active, and it seems like she's trying to deflect from the situation. And maybe she's right, maybe it's all made up. I really have no idea because I can't even confirm who this is, but I can confirm that they have, well, Chris has done some disgusting and foul things in the past, and that has been proven, and we've seen on YouTube culture that a lot of these gross weirdos tend to repeat their behavior. Before we take a walk down memory lane and talk about what Chris has done in the past, I do want to bring up something from that Facebook comment. So pretty much, Sarah started off the comment saying that they do this every single time something amazing happens in their life. Well, in case you are curious to what has been so amazing in their life, they have recently bought a new house, which is great and dandy. I mean, congratulations on your beautiful home. But the thing that I think is very weird is that they created an Instagram page for their literal home. Like, if your family already isn't exploited enough on the internet and your children, why don't you just post your whole home on Instagram and create a page for them? Like, that's way worse than even like making one for your dog. You know, I have an Instagram page for my dog. Follow her if you want. No shame there, but literally your house, I feel like that is just so bizarre to me. Almost as bizarre as recreating your baby as a fake doll and then selling it to your subscribers. But anyways, let's talk a little bit more about Chris Ingham and his problematic past. I'm not going to do a deep dive into every single survivor who has spoken out, but a quick overview because I have covered these on my channel before, so if you want to go and learn more about Jess or Bella or anyone else, then go ahead and watch my previous videos on Chris Ingham. So in the summer of 2018, a girl named Jess had an interaction with Chris Ingham where pretty much they were talking on Twitter and he wanted to meet up with her because they were going to be staying in the same area in Florida. Keep in mind, guys, that she is like 16, he is like 33, and that is a huge age difference. Like, why is he even messaging these young girls on Twitter? And actually, Jess shared pictures of DMs that prove that Chris was asking her to hang out and to go like skinny dipping outside and to do obviously inappropriate things for a young girl to be doing with a 33-year-old father of like, I think 3 at this point. You would think that Chris would get in trouble or maybe criminally charged for trying to do this with Jess, but in the state of Florida, the age of consent is 16, so she was actually old enough for Chris. That does not change the fact that he is, again, like twice her age, talking to her on social media while he's got multiple children and a full-blown wife. So Jess came out with that story and shared it to the world to try to protect those other girls out there that Chris might be trying to take advantage of. At the time that Jess came out with this story, people were being pretty supportive, and it started a domino effect because multiple other women came forward and claimed that they also had inappropriate relationships with Chris Ingham. Before we talk about the next survivor, I do want to bring up the fact that the police from where Chris is from in the UK did acknowledge that he was up to no good and that he was having inappropriate relationships with a 16-year-old, but because he was in Florida, it was, legal because of the age of consent, which I feel like should be pushed up to 18. So another girl named Bella came out around the same time as Jess, and she is 19 years old at this time, and pretty much what happened was that her and Chris met at a hotel that she was working at, and they ended up Snapchatting from there. They had normal conversations, but there was one time when she was like wearing a towel and like Snapchatted him in her towel, and he replied back to her and said, "Drop that towel and resend, ha ha ha." He probably added the extra emojis in the ha 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 to make it seem like it was a joke, but of course he wanted this 19-year-old to send a picture of herself wearing nothing to him. Again, being super creepy to young women when he has a wife and children. And a happy life, like with his subscribers, his nice house, he's got, a nice a nice life. Why is he cheating on his wife? Like, what is so wrong with him that he isn't content with what he already has? So far, we have Jess and Bella. And at this point, Jess, while she was getting a bunch of support, she was also getting a ton of backlash and hate from the iFam family, claiming that she is a liar and trying to drag Chris into something he shouldn't be a part of. So Jess had to deal with all of that, but at the same time, people were messaging her and reaching out about their situation. So the third person I want to talk about today, she has publicly come forward against Chris before, but she has actually tried to scrub her name from the situation. So we're not going to bring up her name. We're not going to identify her, but she has spoken out about Chris, and she actually had physical relations with him. And she had proof to show it. She shared multiple screenshots from Chris where he claimed that he was going to sue her for $250,000 because she supposedly told people that they were hooking up and they had an NDA or some type of agreement together. I'm not too sure how NDAs would work in the UK or if that's even a thing there, but they supposedly had some type of agreement that he was going to sue her over. Maybe that's why she wants to be silent now, but I'm not too sure. She sent these messages to Jess and actually showed her that she has his number and that his wife has blocked her from social media. So that's the third person at this point who has claimed to have hooked up or had an inappropriate relationship with Chris while he's got a wife and children, and a child-friendly channel. A child-friendly channel, yet he is messaging some of these children, like Jess, when she was a 16-year-old. In my mind, that's still a minor. You know, I don't know why Florida is any different, but I just think that's so absolutely wrong. And why isn't YouTube stepping in? And then there's a fourth girl who has come forward against Chris back in 2017, claiming that she had inappropriate relationships with him. Actually, her story is very similar to Jess's story. Like the third person, she wants to stay anonymous. She doesn't want her name out there because she got a ton of backlash for coming forward about this in the beginning. But her story is very similar to Jess's because Chris was talking to her about, skinny dipping and doing all of those things that a grown man probably shouldn't be doing with a young girl. Here are a bunch of screenshots from their messages on Twitter and on WhatsApp. And again, he's just asking her to do things that he shouldn't do. And I mean, he's literally calling her bae at one point. So this man needs to get control over himself because again, now he's being called out for, so that's 4 people now. And now we've got a 5th person, a vulnerable college student who he has supposedly been having an affair with. At the same time, these people call him out and he's trying to sue them, intimidate them, silence them, scare them off the internet. Earlier, I mentioned a channel named Dougal. I'm not too sure much about this channel, so I can't say they're good or bad or anything about them. I haven't watched any of their content, but I have seen that them and this Twitter account online have been targeted by Chris. He has literally sent them letters in the past. Supposedly, he's sent multiple people letters. I've never gotten a letter in my PO box, but he has sent them to people telling them that he's going to expose them, accusing them of doing things that he has been doing with minors, but deflecting it onto other people on Twitter, claiming that they're doing these type of things, sending these letters to their grandparents' homes. He's doing some low and dirty work to try to get back at these people who have been calling him out for basic things that he probably shouldn't do. When I saw those letters sent to that Twitter account or that YouTube account or whoever, I was actually shocked because it's allegedly from Chris. That's what they're thinking. That's what they're claiming. And it's so bizarre to me that he will work with someone, maybe that person that Sarah was talking about earlier, work with someone to figure out who these people are and to intimidate them from, speaking out against him. So again, I don't know if the beginning story is legitimate because we don't know who that is, but there have been so many other instances involving this man that I don't understand why YouTube demonetized someone like James Charles, who again did something wrong, but does nothing to Chris Ingham, who has had multiple articles written about him, who the police even tweeted out acknowledging that he was inappropriately speaking to a minor. Why is YouTube continuing to employ or to promote this family and this man when he has used his power to manipulate his iFam and to speak inappropriately with women, young girls? Actually, someone I was talking to on on Twitter today told me that her 12-year-old was in some Snapchat group or something with Chris Ingham, and that when she saw some of those messages, she just felt immediately uncomfortable that this 36 going on 37-year-old man was sending this to young girls. Maybe Sarah has someone else running her social media accounts, but it's very clear to me that Chris is running his own, and he's running them with intentions that are disgusting and evil. He should not be using his platform to try to manipulate these girls. And like the third person we spoke about, it makes me think that when he meets them in person, does he make them sign some agreement that he can sue them for $250,000, money they obviously do not have because they're like 16 or 19 years old? So YouTube, do better, and please try to, like, I don't know, maybe they should do a couple year check-in on some of their creators and make sure that these people aren't breaking like federal laws or just breaking moral guidelines, because I don't think that it's okay for him to have these relationships with these young girls, and so many people agree with that. So frankly, I don't think anything's going to happen here. I mean, Sarah obviously is in denial of it, and she wants like hardcore proof of it, and I mean, when she's gotten proof of it in the past, she's done nothing, so I don't really think anything's going to change there. Still, their Instagram, like their house Instagram, is so bizarre to me. I mean, that part just like, I had to include it because I was so confused on why they are doing that, and I just think that they need to refocus their brand because exploiting their children is getting old, and people are getting tired of these family channels. So we'll have to see if Chris actually acknowledges these allegations, but I have a feeling he's not going to, and that this is all going to just go pass on by, and we're going to act like this man hasn't done anything wrong, and then once he gets new subscribers and new people, he's going to creep on them. It's going to happen again, and it's going to be a cycle until one day we are so fed up that we make sure that he's demonetized and off the platform, because obviously YouTube is giving him the ability to do this and to meet these people in the first place. So comment below what you guys think about this situation and Chris Ingham. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to open a P.O. box item for you guys. I'm not too sure who this is from. It doesn't have a name on it, but I do want to, two things. If you have any video ideas for me, send me an email right here. Anything you want, just feel free to send it to me. And two, my eyes were really red in this video because my allergies are killing me. So if you think I look like I am like smoking on something, I am not. I am just very, like, the allergies punch me in the face like multiple times a day. So let's go ahead and see who this is from. Oh, this is so sweet. Okay. Hey Sloan, thank you so much for bringing awareness to so many important topics. You're always on the right side. Oh, I sent you some of the merch from my friend's podcast. We talked about being sober in the LGBT community. It is a topic that isn't really talked about, and I hope you like some of our hand-pressed pieces and merch. The Sober Gay. Oh, that's awesome. The Sober Gay podcast. I will link everything below. That's so sweet that you sent it to me and that you thought you would send it to me. Oh, that's so funny because I was just talking about how I am sober and my eyes are so red. So let's go ahead and see this merch. I'm so excited, guys. It feels like really, oh my gosh, I really need a canvas bag for like grocery shopping and stuff. Look at this. So cute. It says, no thank you, stay sober, girl. Oh my gosh, I love that. No thank you. That's exactly me too, because they're always like, you want to try this? I'm like, no thank you. Like, no. I'm just not a fan. It'll probably give me a headache anyway. So, oh, I love this. Thank you so much. This is awesome. That's so cute. I can't wait to go like Trader Joe's shopping and that. I can't wait to check out your podcast too, because I've been needing a new podcast. Like, I went to the gym the other day and I realized I have no music, nothing to listen to. So I'm going to go ahead and check out your podcast as well. I could use some motivational something. Ooh, a mask. Hey, I can always use a mask. Look at that. It says, I can't read it yet, but I love it. So we'll read it before we get off this video. And let's just, ooh, there we go. And then finally, there is one more item. What does this say? Stay sober, girl. Stay sober, girl. Oh, I love that. I like a black mask too. Like, and let's go ahead and see this last one. Oh, it's a shirt. Yes, I can wear this in my next video when I film today. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. The Sober Gay. I love that. And then here is the Stay Sober Girl. I love that so much. Thank you guys so much for this gift. It is so cute, and I love that you got your whole podcast and your business and everything. I really appreciate that, and thank you for sharing it. I will link everything below. Go check it out, guys, and I will see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.